Alright, everybody. So, this is the first kind of video I'm going to do about this kind of talking face to face with the camera. So, I might be a bit iffy here and there when it comes to it, but we're going to try it. So, as I'm sure you've guessed by the thumbnail and the title, we're talking about the driving standards in Porsche Esports Super Cup, and honestly, esports in general, at the minute, specifically on iRacing. So for those of you that don't know, Porsche Esports Super Cup is a huge esports series that is run once a year on iRacing by Porsche. This year, the stakes are bigger than ever. You qualify region specifically, so there's a much higher chance for people that maybe won't normally qualify to try and get a chance to qualify. I'm one of those. I'm currently third in my region when I normally wouldn't really have a great chance. Um, and another thing is that they're offering a real life seat in motorsport this year, which is something that not many competitions have ever done. I think Racing Prodigy is the biggest of them that have done this. But to open this up to pretty much the public is a huge, huge step from Porsche and shows which direction they believe sim racing can be moving in. But although that is the solid side of it, even though we thought esports was in a bit of a rough space, we had a huge announcement with Porsche announcing that, and then of course you have the good and you have the bad, and it likes to equal itself out. So, for anyone that's not kept up with the Porsche Esports Super Cup qualifiers and hasn't been watching the races, not even just in split one, in the top 3 or 4 splits, it's been a nightmare. And that's so many reasons for driving standards, for the way people have decided to take it wheel to wheel, people's decision making. There's so many things that are going wrong, and it's a really big mess, and something needs to be done about it. And there's a couple ways they can sort it, but I don't think they're going to follow them. So, for those of you that don't know how iRacing splits work, is it worked on a strength of field, and it works on iRating. So, the top, let's say, 30 cars get put in split 1, then the next get put in split 2, and the next get put in split 3. For split 1, you get the average of all of their iRating, that's strength of field. Split 2 average, that's strength of field. Split 3 average, strength of field. So while I'm talking to you guys, I'm going to pull up on the screen and tell you guys what the strength of fields were. So to qualify for PESC, it's all about championship points. That comes off the strength of field. So if you finish top 5 in split 2, you might get the same amount of points that somebody in P16 in split 1 got. Because the higher the strength of field, the more points you're going to get, the more it helps you in the long run. So you want to try and push at the top. You want to be in the highest split possible because it gives you the most points. Because obviously you don't want to give the same amount of points for somebody in split 3 for a win that somebody in split 1 for a win would get. Because obviously the skill level in that is very, very different, and it varies a bit too much. So pulling up the strength of fields now. For reference, the average I rating on iRacing is about 1.9 to 2.2k. Last time I checked. So that is your average I rating. Split 1 had a strength of field of 7.3k. And so I'm just going to read it. So the last split, 7.3k, then 8.4k, then 9.6, then 10k. So these strength of fields are really high. And that's the average of all 30 drivers. You had 11k, 12k drivers in there. So I'm not at that level. I'm currently at 4.6k I rating, 4.7k I rating, trying to work my way back up to 6k. I was in split 3, which is a 5.8k soft. And consistently, I've been in a strength of field between 5 to 6k. I will talk by experience. It's been horrible in split 2. Like split 1, you see the driving standards are rough, but they're doable. Split 2 and 3 is just write it off completely. I think I finished second this week in Suzuka in the race I did. Got myself a really nice chunk of points, put myself like solidified third for myself with a week to go, so I've qualified for regionals now. But Sebring, which was week 2, so we have your best race of a week counts the points. It's only your best race of a week. And for PESC, there's only 4 time slots. 2 on a Wednesday, 2 on a Saturday. Once you've gotten a really good result, you don't want to drive again because you're just wasting your time. I drove only tonight in Suzuka. Finished the first race. I didn't have time on Wednesday. I drove tonight, which is a Saturday, is when I'm filming this. And I got a P2 in my first race. Done. Dusted. Didn't do another race because there's no point. So that's why you'll see the strength of fields get less and less and less as we go on. Sebring was last week, and I did not finish the race. I finished one race which I didn't finish because I crashed in the last corner and crawled across the line. And got, I think, 60 points the whole week, which, for reference, there are people out of 3 rounds on 1,400 points. It's not enough. So, out of 4 races, didn't finish one. And I'm not going to sit here and be Mr. Goody Two-Shoes of, oh, I did nothing wrong. Yeah, I probably put my car in a position where maybe I should have backed out about 50-50. But I will say this now. I will happily, anybody but wants to see them, show them all of my incidents. I have reported every single one of the incidents to iRacing on the protest system. And I can comfortably say it wasn't fair. I got intentionally wrecked by the same person in 2 of those races. Both of Wednesday's session, I got intentionally wrecked in a straight line by the same person twice. And I'm not the only one. So if you go and look up in the Porsche eSports Super Cup Discord server on the general chat, you will see it is the same thing. Oh, I got intentionally wrecked, driving standards. Over again. And it's so sad to see. Because this is probably the biggest esports competition on the road racing side of the year. It's got the biggest prize pool, apart from Rensport, which I'm sorry doesn't count at this rate. It's not on. And I think a lot of the people doing this is the issue. It's the mentality of drivers is, oh, go big or go home. This first race on a Wednesday, oh, I've got 4 more races, it's fine. And iRacing have been too lenient on it for too long, and I feel Porsche need to be the ones to step in and say, iRacing, you need to do something about this, especially in the past qualifier, because you can't have people drive like that and then get to regionals, which then, assuming regionals will be live stewarded, because if it isn't, I'm sorry, that is a huge mistake. They can't walk into regionals and then do this kind of same thing, because it'll be live on, I believe, some national television. It'll have a horrible look on iRacing. iRacing will look like idiots. And I really don't know what more to say, because it's going to give iRacing a really rough rep. And I wish I could say it's going to sort itself out and people would be more sensible, but there are people who should be in Porsche eSports Super Cup who won't get the chance to race it purely because they've been taken out of races because people can't drive. And I'll say I'm making this video just after Kevin Ellis Jr. made his. Go look at Moritz Lerner's live streams. Go look at Jamie Fluke's live streams. Ask them about it. Watch Kevin Ellis Jr.'s video, because he as well summarized the issue. But I'm making this video because I really think more people need to understand how big of a problem this is. But it is a huge, huge problem. And I think nothing's being done about it. And I think it's a huge mistake on iRacing's part. The biggest thing they can do is at least the Porsche eSports Super Cup races. That's all. Not for every series, because that's unrealistic. You're going to have to pay too many people. Have live stewarding. Even if it's just in the top split, there should be live stewarding. With so much at stake, there has to be live stewarding. I do not understand, from an iRacing business perspective, why you wouldn't want live stewarding in that scenario. Because it keeps the racing fair and it holds people accountable. And half of these issues go away if you punish somebody for their actions. But how the iRacing system works right now is you don't get punished, which then causes bigger issues because people take it upon themselves to intentionally wreck people. And the other thing is, we need this to become a bigger issue in the community that gets talked about more. So then maybe people who are doing these kind of things can understand what they're doing is wrong. Because I do truly believe a lot of people don't understand some of the things they're doing is categorically unacceptable. It's just a really rough situation. And this was the first race, Suzuka, this week, was the first race I actually got at finishing top 5. Which was because, firstly, I mess up my qualifying a lot. I'm not a qualifying merchant. Secondly, if you start from the back of these races, it is avoid the chaos as much as possible. because the amount of crashes that's ahead of you is you'll go up 10, 15 positions. I think in Spa, I had a race where I started dead last. I went up 21 positions or something, and I made 2 overtakes the whole race. It was purely because people couldn't drive wheel to wheel. And I don't think I speak for myself here when I say that that's not the kind of way a lot of us, anyone racing at the esports level, wants to be qualifying for things. They want to qualify for it because they're on pace, they've raced someone hard, they've made the overtakes, they've made the effort for it. It's a sad state. I know I've waffled a lot in this video, but it's just because I have so much to say and I just don't know how to get it out correctly. And how to say it without saying it. I really hope this gets sorted. I really hope that this video actually gets more than 5 views and people see it, they understand the issues, and that the community as a whole understands that we need to get better than this, because this isn't going to get changed by one person watching a video and going, oh, I'm going to change it. Because they're going to jump into a race, and then everyone else is going to do it again, and the snowball's going to roll, more problems create. So I really, really hope that this reaches the right audience, that the people who need to see this video, and understand that you're not going to win the Porsche Esports Super Cup in the qualifiers on lap 1 in turn 3 at Suzuka by putting a nose in and just killing someone. I really, really hope people see this video and think. But probably won't happen. But anyway, that is my little rant done. I might make a few more videos like this in the future, where it's just sit down, talk, camera face. Doubt it's going to do well with how people like their short form content nowadays, but we'll see. Alright. I think I will make a few more videos like this, hopefully. If there's anything that anybody else has similar issues with, put it down in the comments below. We can have a nice little discussion, and maybe I'll make a video if you guys have something specific. Until then, peace out, legends. Bye-bye.